Hey Algebra 1s, today we're going to go over page 6 of your review packet. That's questions 18 and 19. So for number 18, Amy solved the equation 2x squared plus 5x minus 42 equals 0, and she stated that the solutions were 7 over 2 and negative 6. Do you agree? Okay, that's going to be a yes or a no. And then explain who we are looking for words there, why or why not. So here's the deal, guys. You want the shortcut version? What you would do is you would take this and you would do n solve with it. Okay, you would show our work. We would write down the word n solve. Let's do that right now. What the heck? And then we would say x equals, well, let's n solve it. Oh, that's old. Okay, n solve. Menu, 3, 1. There's your n solve. And then you type in the equation, 2x squared plus 5x minus 42 equals 0. But then we have to place a guess, so comma, x equals 100. So one answer is 3.5. And then remember, we have to do a second guess. So I'm going to copy and paste that down and change that to negative 100. X is negative 6. All right, so what we have to know is that 7 over 2, and if you don't know, 7 over 2, you pop a decimal point, is 3.5. So this one is 7 over 2 and negative 6. So do we agree? Yes. And explain. I used n solve and got the same answers. Boom. Okay, so that's the shortcut. You do have to show this work though, okay? Now, if you want to do it algebraically, guys, you could factor this, or more likely, you like to do the quadratic formula. Let's get the focus back. Hold on. There we go. A is 2. That's your leading coefficient. Jeepers, the phone is not focusing today on me. B is 5. And C, the constant, is negative 42. So then we plug that in. X equals negative B plus or minus the square root. Remember, really long square root. B squared is 25. Minus 4AC. Yuck. All over 2A. So 2 times 2. All right, now we're going to simplify it up a little bit. Plus or minus square root. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type that into my calculator. That is called the discriminant. So here it is. 25 minus 4 times 2. Ooh, that's a 20. We don't want that. Times negative 42. You get 361 for the discriminant. All right, 361. Square root of 361. Oh, it's a perfect square. So we get negative 5 plus or minus 19 over 4. Now, because these are all numbers, we can actually type them in. This is not a button in your calculator. You have to do one at a time. So you would do negative 5 plus 19 and then divide that by 4. Let's show you. Negative 5 plus 19 divided by 4. One answer is, oh my gosh, there's a 7 over 2. And then we have to do it again, this time with the minus. So negative 5 minus 19 over 4. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Change that to a minus. Make sure you're using minus and not negative, okay? And there's your, my light, there's your negative 6. So yes, I agree. I solved using, I'm going to be really fancy, the quadratic formula, and answers are negative 6 and 7 over 2. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you could go about that. You could have factored that, but it's kind of a nasty factoring, okay? All right, number 19, Sue and Kathy. They're doing their algebra. They were asked to write the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. Sue wrote this equation. And Kathy wrote this equation. justify why both students are correct. Now this time, guys, justify means that you are plugging in, I'm sorry, I can't focus. Justify means showing your work. Whew. Explain means writing using numbers. Oh my word. Is it like Friday or what? It's not. Justify means show your work. Explain means write it in words, okay? So I basically want to prove why these 2 points go through both of these equations. So, oh gosh, there's a few ways we can do it. What's going to be, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this because this doesn't look like I like it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute that through there. So we've got y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 x plus negative 1/3. Ooh, that's going to be minus. Negative a third times 3 is negative 1. So then I'm going to add 4. Those go away. Negative 1/3 x plus 3. Now the reason why I did that is because now you see that that is exactly the same as that. So I'm going to cut my work in half right now, okay? So I simplified this and I solved it for y, and I found that this equation and this equation are exactly the same. So now I want to prove or justify that it goes through these 2 points, okay? Is that what I want to do? So this is x, this is y. So if I plug it in, I'm going to go here or here, it doesn't matter. They're the same thing. So y is 4. Negative 1/3 times x, which is negative 3, plus 3. So what I want to do, I could type that into my calculator. It's going to say true. Or I could actually do it out. I'll show you. Negative 1/3 times 3 is 1. Then plus 3. 4 equals 4. That's a true sentence. So that tells me that that coordinate, negative 3, 4, is a point on this line. So now I have to prove that it goes through this point as well. Here's x, here's y, and again, I'm going to plug it into that equation that I solved for. So y is 1 equals negative 1/3 x, which is 6, plus 3. Okay, again, you could type this right into a calculator. It will say true, and that covers you. But I'm going to show you. Negative 1/3 of 6 is negative 2 plus 3. And this again, negative 2 plus 3 is 1. It comes out true. All right, so there you go. I just justified why both students are correct. So I solved this one. I got this. I showed that this and this are the same. And then I plugged in x and y. It's true. And then I plugged in x and y. That's true. Okay, so there's page number 6.